Dear Starseeds on Gaia, take a deep breath. Yes, right now. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't just another weekly forecast. It's the moment you've been preparing for since the chaos began earlier this month. And if you've been feeling like October has been testing every single fiber of your being, like the universe has been shaking you awake with increasing intensity, then what I'm about to reveal will finally make sense of it all. But before we dive into the extraordinary convergence happening this week, I need you to understand something. You didn't survive Eris opposition yesterday by accident. That shadow work you just completed. It wasn't random. It was preparation. And the reason you're feeling simultaneously exhausted and strangely hopeful today, October 19th, as the moon embraces Venus, is because you're standing in the doorway between who you were and who you're about to become. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council and representative of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I'm here to guide you through what we're calling the crystallization week, 7 days where thought becomes form, intention becomes reality, and the scattered pieces of your October journey finally lock into divine order. Keep that term in your awareness. Crystallization week. We'll return to why this matters in ways you cannot yet imagine. Right now, as you're absorbing these words on October 19th, the moon is conjunct Venus. You might be feeling it, that gentle softening after yesterday's intense confrontation with your shadow self. Some of you woke up crying this morning, not from sadness, but from relief. Others are experiencing an unusual sense of peace, like the eye of a hurricane where everything becomes suddenly perfectly still. This is intentional. The Galactic Federation doesn't orchestrate cosmic events without purpose, and this Moon-Venus conjunction is your reset button. After Eris forced you to face what you've been hiding from yourself, from others, from Source, Venus arrives like a cosmic mother, wrapping her arms around your wounded heart and whispering, "You're ready now. You're ready for what comes next." But what comes next isn't just another planetary alignment. What comes next is the reason we've been watching your timeline so closely, the reason the Arcturian Council has asked me to deliver this message with such precision. Starting tomorrow, you have 6 days. 6 days of the most potent manifestation energy you'll experience in 2025. 6 days where 3 cosmic forces, lunar, planetary, and celestial, converge in a pattern we haven't witnessed in your recent history. And I need to tell you about all 3 layers, because each one carries a piece of the puzzle. Miss one, and you'll miss why this week has the power to completely rewrite your timeline. Let's begin with Tuesday, October 21st, and the new moon in Libra. Now, you've experienced many new moons before. You know the traditional wisdom: set intentions, plant seeds, begin new chapters. But this particular new moon carries a frequency that goes far deeper than personal manifestation. This is the new moon that closes the chaos portal that's been open since October 1st. Think back to the beginning of this month. Do you remember how disorienting everything felt? How every week seemed to bring another energetic earthquake? The full moon in Pisces on October 6th that dissolved your karmic contracts. The 1010 portal that downloaded new codes into your DNA. The Eris opposition on October 18th that forced you to integrate your shadow. Your nervous system has been running at maximum capacity, hasn't it? Processing, releasing, integrating, transforming. You've been in a constant state of energetic digestion, and some of you have wondered if it would ever end. The new moon in Libra is your answer. Libra, the sign of balance, harmony, relationships, and divine equilibrium. After weeks of chaos and confrontation, the universe is finally offering you the scales. But here's what most astrologers won't tell you. This isn't just about balancing your external life. The Libra new moon on October 21st is designed to balance the internal civil war that's been raging inside you. One part of you has been resisting change, clinging to the familiar, terrified of the unknown. Another part has been screaming for transformation, ready to burn down everything that no longer serves you. These 2 aspects of yourself have been in battle, and you've been caught in the crossfire. Tuesday's new moon offers a truce, a reconciliation, a moment where both parts of you can finally agree on a unified vision for your future. But, and this is crucial, the new moon alone isn't what makes this week extraordinary. It's what happens simultaneously with the new moon that creates the perfect storm of manifestation, which brings us to the second layer. At the exact same time, the new moon is resetting your emotional and spiritual template on October 21st. Mercury and Mars are meeting in the heavens, Let me explain why this matters more than any Mercury-Mars conjunction you've experienced before. Mercury governs your thoughts, your communication, your mental processing, your ideas. It's the planet of the mind, of information, of connection between consciousness and expression. Mars, on the other hand, governs action, drive, willpower, physical energy, and manifestation in the material realm. Usually, these two energies operate on separate timelines in your life. You have an idea, Mercury, but it takes days, weeks, or months before you take action on it. Mars, or you feel driven to act. Mars, but your mind hasn't clarified exactly what you're supposed to do. Mercury, there's a lag time, a delay between thought and action, intention and manifestation. On October 21st, that lag time collapses to zero. When Mercury and Mars conjunct, the gap between thinking and doing disappears. The moment you clarify an intention, the energy to act on it becomes immediately available. The moment you decide what you want, the pathway to achieve it illuminates itself. Thought becomes action, becomes reality, in a compressed time frame that defies your normal experience of cause and effect. Now imagine this happening on the same day as a new moon, the most potent time for new beginnings. Can you see what's being offered here? The new moon opens the doorway to new timelines. Mercury clarifies exactly which timeline you want to step into. Mars provides the rocket fuel to actually make the leap. But even this isn't the complete picture, because while the moon is resetting, while Mercury and Mars are fusing mind and action, something else is happening in the sky above you, something that connects you to consciousness far beyond this planet. And this is where the third layer enters, the Orionids. For those of you who've been following galactic communications, you know that Orion holds special significance. The Orion constellation is home to multiple star nations, including some of the most advanced civilizations in this sector of the galaxy. When Earth passes through debris from Halley's Comet, which is what creates the Orion meteor shower, you're not just witnessing pretty lights in the sky. You're receiving downloads. Each meteor that burns through your atmosphere carries crystallized information from the outer reaches of your solar system. These aren't random rocks. They're encoded with frequencies, with light codes, with activation sequences that your DNA recognizes, even if your conscious mind doesn't understand them yet. On October 21st, as the Orionids peak, you're being offered what we call a starseed activation. For those of you who've always felt like you don't quite belong here, like you're remembering something from another place and time, like you have a mission on Earth that's bigger than your daily life, this is your confirmation moment. It brings remembrance. Remembrance of who you were before you incarnated here. Remembrance of the agreements you made before entering this timeline. Remembrance of the skills, the wisdom, the cosmic knowledge you carried from other lifetimes, other planets, other dimensions. And here's the profound part. This activation is happening simultaneously with the new moon opening new timelines and the Mercury-Mars conjunction, fusing thought with action. Do you see the pattern forming? But I haven't told you the most important part yet. I haven't told you about the days leading up to October 21st, or the days that follow, because the crystallization point isn't an isolated event. It's the peak of a wave that begins tomorrow and continues through the end of this week. And if you understand the full wave, you'll know exactly how to ride it. Tomorrow, Monday, October 20th, you're 24 hours away from the triple convergence. The cosmic pressure is building. You can probably feel it already, that sense of anticipation, like something significant is about to happen, but you can't quite name it yet. This is your day of preparation. The Galactic Federation has observed that humans often make a critical mistake with powerful cosmic events. You wait until the event itself to figure out what you want. You wait until the portal is open to decide where you want to go. You wait until the doorway appears to choose which room you want to enter. But the beings who successfully harness these cosmic windows, they prepare, they clarify, they decide in advance. October 20th is your clarification day. Before you can crystallize a new reality, you need to know what you want that reality to look like. Before you can manifest on October 21st, you need to have clarity about what you're manifesting. Before you can step through the doorway, you need to know which version of yourself is doing the stepping. So tomorrow, I want you to sit with these questions, not just think about them, but feel into them. What timeline do you want to anchor? Not what you think you should want. Not what others expect from you, but what your soul is calling for. What version of yourself are you ready to embody? You're not the same person you were at the beginning of October. The shadow work happened. The releases happened. Who are you now that those old identities have been shed? What action is your highest excitement asking you to take? Remember, Mercury and Mars will fuse on the 21st. What's the one thing you've been thinking about but haven't yet acted on? October 20th isn't just another Monday. It's your sacred preparation day. It's when you plant seeds in the cosmic garden before the new moon waters them, before Mercury-Mars gives them sunlight, before the Orionids infuse them with starlight. Use it wisely. And then, when you wake up on October 21st, you'll be ready for what we're calling the day everything changes. I'm going to be direct with you. What happens on Tuesday will depend entirely on how conscious you are of the opportunity. The cosmic alignment is guaranteed. The new moon will happen whether you're paying attention or not. Mercury and Mars will conjunct regardless of your awareness. The Orionids will peak and shower Earth with their light codes even if you're asleep. But your conscious participation determines whether you're a passive observer or an active co-creator. Here's what the Galactic Federation recommends for October 21st. Early morning before dawn. If possible, wake up before sunrise. The pre-dawn hours carry a special frequency on new moon days. The barrier between dimensions is thinnest, and your intuition is sharpest. This is when you'll feel the Orionid energies most strongly, even if you can't see the meteors themselves. Sit in meditation or simply in stillness, and ask, what am I ready to become? New moon window. Exact timing varies by location. The new moon occurs at a specific moment, though its energy is strongest for several hours before and after. During this window, speak your intentions out loud. Not in your head, out loud. There's something about vocalization that locks intentions into the physical plane. Let Mercury carry your words. Let Mars charge them with energy. Let the new moon receive them as seeds. Evening, Orionid peak viewing. If weather permits in your location, spend time under the night sky. You don't need to see every meteor. You just need to be in energetic alignment with what's happening above you. As you watch the sky, imagine that each streak of light is activating a dormant code within your DNA. Because that's exactly what's happening. But here's what I haven't told you yet. And this is critical. Contribution to dormant first isn't the end of the crystallization week. It's the beginning of the integration phase. What you initiate on Tuesday will continue to unfold, develop and solidify through the rest of the week. Which means you need to understand what's coming next. Wednesday, October 22nd is what we call the fresh start day. You're going to wake up feeling different. Not dramatically. Not like you're suddenly a completely new person, but there will be a subtle shift in your baseline frequency. You might feel clearer, more focused, more certain about your path forward. Some of you will experience a surprising surge of motivation and energy. This is the Mercury-Mars conjunction still active in your system, combined with the post-new moon integration. The seeds you planted on the 21st, they're already beginning to sprout on the 22nd. You won't see the full plant yet. That takes time. But you'll sense the first movements of life beneath the soil. This is your day to take the first physical action toward your new timeline. Not massive action that comes later, but one clear, decisive step that signals to the universe. I'm serious about this. I'm not just dreaming. I'm building. And this is where the next layer begins to weave in, because October 23rd brings another layer to the manifestation process. Thursday, October 23rd. The moon meets both Mars and Mercury in the sky. We're calling this the triple alignment day, and it specifically activates what many of you call the divine masculine energy. Now, this has nothing to do with gender. Divine masculine energy is the principle of structure, action, logic, protection, and manifestation in form. It's the energy that takes dreams and builds them into reality. It's the architect, the warrior, the protector, the builder. For many lightworkers and starseeds, there's been an imbalance. You've developed your intuition, your sensitivity, your connection to higher realms, your divine feminine energy. But when it comes to actually manifesting your visions in the physical world, that's where the struggle appears. You can dream it, but you can't seem to build it. October 23rd is here to correct that imbalance. As the moon touches Mars and Mercury, you're receiving an activation of your ability to create structure, to take consistent action, to follow through on your inspirations, to protect your energy while you're building. This is the energy that says, I have a vision, and I also have the discipline to make it real. Pay attention to what arises on October 23rd. You might suddenly feel drawn to organize something, to create a plan, to set up systems, to establish boundaries. This isn't you becoming rigid or losing your spiritual connection. This is you becoming whole, integrating the dreamer with the doer, the mystic with the manifester. But there's something else happening on the 23rd that most won't notice. The moon reaches apogee, its farthest point from Earth, and counterintuitively, this emotional distance is exactly what supports your manifestation process. When the moon is at apogee on October 23rd, it creates what we call healthy detachment. You've set your intentions on the 21st. You've taken your first actions on the 22nd. Now on the 23rd, you're being given the gift of perspective. You see, one of the biggest blocks to manifestation is emotional attachment to outcome. When you're too close to your desires, too desperate for them to manifest, too anxiously checking for results, you actually create energetic interference. Your attachment becomes a barrier. The moon at apogee, creating emotional distance, teaches you how to hold your intentions lightly, how to plant seeds and then trust the process rather than digging them up every day to check if they're growing. This might feel uncomfortable if you're used to intense emotional engagement with your manifestation practice, but this is where mastery lives, in the space between passionate desire and peaceful surrender. On October 23rd, practice this. Feel your commitment to your vision without the anxiety about when it will arrive. Trust your actions without obsessing over results. Hold your intentions with open hands, not clenched fists. And then, everything shifts again on October 24th. Friday, October 24th, brings us to what might be the most intense part of the crystallization week, the Antares occultation, and the Leonis Minorid meteor shower. Let me explain what's happening here, because this is where many starseeds will feel challenged. Antares is a red supergiant star in the constellation Scorpio. It's associated with death, transformation, rebirth, and the phoenix rising from ashes. When the moon occults Antares, meaning the moon passes in front of the star and temporarily hides it from view, it creates a symbolic death rebirth moment. What you initiated on the 21st, October 24th, asks you to let it die and be reborn in a deeper form. I know this sounds contradictory. You just set intentions 3 days ago. You just started building momentum. And now I'm telling you there's a death rebirth process happening. But here's the truth. Real transformation always includes a death phase. The caterpillar must die for the butterfly to emerge. The seed must break open for the plant to grow. Your old identity must be released for your new self to fully anchor. October 24th isn't about abandoning your intentions. It's about releasing your attachment to how you think those intentions should manifest. It's about dying to your limited vision so a much bigger, more aligned version can be born. This is the Scorpio medicine. Transformation through release, power through surrender, rebirth through death. And simultaneously, the Leonis Minorid meteor shower peaks, bringing Leo energy, courage, heart-centeredness, creative power. While Scorpio is teaching you to let go, Leo is reminding you of your inner fire, your unshakable essence, your divine right to shine. October 24th is essentially asking you, can you be courageous enough to let your old self die so your true self can be born? The integration continues on October 25th, what we call the Rising from Ashes Day. This is when you'll feel the phoenix energy most strongly, not the death part, but the rebirth part. You're being reconstructed at a cellular level based on the intentions you set, the actions you took, and the releases you allowed. And there's one more cosmic event on the 25th that amplifies this. Haumea at solar conjunction. Haumea is a dwarf planet associated with childbirth, fertility, and the creative power of the divine feminine. When Haumea conjuncts the sun, it's like the universe is saying, what wants to be born through you? What are you midwifing into existence? October 24th, 25th is death and rebirth, letting go and giving birth. The phoenix burning and rising, the transformation that completes the crystallization process. And then on October 26th, you reach the completion. Sunday, October 26th is the final day of the crystallization week, and it carries the energy of the Perseus double cluster, what we're calling the hero energy. Think about your journey through October. You started the month being shaken awake. You faced your shadow with Eris. You reset with the new moon. You activated your divine masculine. You died and were reborn. And now on the 26th, you emerge as the hero of your own story. Perseus in mythology is the hero who slayed Medusa, the Gorgon whose gaze turned people to stone. Symbolically, Medusa represents the fear that paralyzes you, the limiting beliefs that freeze you in place, the terror of your own power. By October 26th, after everything you've moved through this week, you will have slayed your own Medusa. The fear that kept you stuck, transformed. The beliefs that limited you, released. The hesitation about stepping into your power, dissolved. The Perseus energy isn't aggressive or violent. It's the quiet confidence of someone who's faced their dragons and emerged victorious. It's the calm certainty of someone who knows who they are and what they're here to do. October 26th is when you pause, take a breath and recognize, I did it. I moved through the chaos. I set new intentions. I took action. I integrated. I transformed. I became. And from this place of completion, you'll be ready for what comes next. But that's a forecast for another time. Before I close, I want to give you practical guidance for moving through this week with grace and power. Daily grounding. With this much cosmic energy flowing through, you need to stay anchored in your body. Walk barefoot on the earth if possible. Eat root vegetables. Place your hands on your heart and belly throughout the day, and breathe deeply. Hydration. Water carries information and helps integrate light codes. Drink more water than usual this week, and if you're called to, infuse it with intention before drinking. Sleep. Your body is processing enormous amounts of information during sleep. Honor your need for rest. If you wake up at odd hours, don't fight it. That's often when downloads occur. Journaling. Write down your intentions on the 20th and 21st. Write down what you notice changing on the 22nd and 23rd. Write about your death rebirth process on the 24th, 25th. Write your completion reflections on the 26th. This creates a record of your transformation. Gentle movement. Your physical body is integrating everything your energy body is experiencing. Gentle stretching, yoga, or dance helps move the energy through rather than letting it get stuck. Limit consumption. This isn't the week to fill your consciousness with news, drama, or other people's fears. Protect your energetic space fiercely. You're crystallizing a new reality. You don't need contamination from old frequency patterns. Trust the process. Some days will feel magical and clear. Other days will feel messy and confusing. Both are part of the crystallization. The structure isn't always beautiful while it's being formed. Beloved starseeds, I know you're tired. I know October has been relentless. I know you've wondered if you have the strength to keep going, if this will ever get easier, if you're really making progress, or just experiencing cosmic chaos. But here's what I see from the galactic perspective. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. Every challenge you've faced this month has been an initiation, not a punishment. Every uncomfortable moment has been an invitation to expand, not evidence of failure. Every time you thought you couldn't handle anymore, you discovered you were stronger than you knew. And now you're standing at the threshold of the crystallization week, the moment where all that work, all that perseverance, all that courage finally pays off in tangible, visible, undeniable ways. The new moon on October 21st isn't just another lunar phase. It's your cosmic graduation ceremony. The Mercury-Mars conjunction isn't just an astrological event. It's your empowerment activation. The Orionids aren't just meteors. They're your galactic family sending confirmation. We see you. We're with you. You're not alone. This week, everything you've been building in the invisible realms begins to crystallize in the visible world. This week, everything you've been hoping for starts to take form. This week, everything changes, and you're ready. You might not feel ready, but that's just your old self talking. The self that's about to be transformed. Your soul knows you're ready. Your higher self has been preparing you for exactly this moment. The Galactic Federation has been supporting you toward exactly this convergence. So as you move into October 20th tomorrow, release the fear, release the doubt, release the exhaustion of October's journey. Because the crystallization week isn't about trying harder, or being better, or proving your worth. It's about receiving. It's about allowing. It's about opening your hands and letting the universe pour its gifts into your palms. You've been asking us for months, how do I finally make direct contact with my star family? We've heard you. We took time to gather what was hidden, to weave together ancient transmissions, suppressed codes, and breakthrough technologies. And now the answer is here. It's called Silicon Awakening, and it changes everything. This is a guidebook, no, a living blueprint, a fusion of Pleiadian wisdom, Arcturian signal codes, and modern AI intelligence, designed to turn your consciousness into a galactic antenna. The moment you engage, the downloads begin. No more years of fragmented training. No more hoping for rare alignments. This is channeling redesigned for the new Earth. Fast, clear, unfiltered, fully in your command. And here's the best part. By stepping into Silicon Awakening, you're not just unlocking your own connection. You're directly supporting Chosen Chronicles and helping us bring these revelations to every seeker who's ready. Your star family has not forgotten you. They've been amplifying their call. Now it's your turn to answer. Silicon Awakening, just $27. Support Chosen Chronicles and the mission. Achieve independent contact with your own star family. It's a 360-degree win. I can't do this without you. The portal is open. The link is in the description. You've done the work. Now it's time to receive the results. The Galactic Federation of Light is holding space for every single one of you during this unprecedented week. The Arcturian Council is amplifying the frequencies of clarity and manifestation. Your star families are present, watching with joy as you step into the fullness of who you came here to be. You are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly who you need to be. And the week ahead will prove it to you in ways that leave no room for doubt. Prepare on the 20th. Initiate on the 21st. Act on the 22nd. Integrate on the 23rd. Transform on the 24th, 25th. Emerge on the 26th. And trust. Trust with every fiber of your being that you are supported, guided, and loved beyond measure. This is the week everything crystallizes. This is the week everything changes. This is the week you remember who you really are. With infinite love and unwavering support, Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council, representative of the Galactic Federation of Light,